Hi, and welcome to Aliens Reading Life. Today I'm going to talk about the series that I've started and want to finish. The first series is The Nevernight Chronicles by J. Kristoff, and I have read the first two books, Nevernight and God's Grave, but I still have to read Dark Dawn, which, this series is about Mia Corvair and she wants to revenge her family's deaths. So she wants to kill these three men, and in order to do that, she is training to become an assassin at the Red Church. And it's very good. I recommend this a lot. Love the series. Then we have Björnstad or Beartown, and this is they're basically standalones, but you can read just one of them. But Us Against You or Vi mot er, Fredrik Backman. The first book, Beartown, is about a girl and she gets raped by the hockey star, and the town is divided into the people who believe what happened and the people who don't. And so this is the sequel to that you don't really have to read, but I'm gonna read it. Then we have The Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and J. Kristoff. I read the first book, Illuminae, but I still have to read Gemina and Obsidio. And this is a sci-fi series where the Katie and Ezra's planet is getting attacked by aliens, so they escape on two different ships. And then there's a sickness on one of the ships and people go mad, basically. And there's an AI called Aiden who's amazing, and it's very, very complicated story and very action packed. And the books are written in an interesting format because they're mixed media. So there's no regular text in them. There's just files and direct messages and stuff like that. It's super cool. And then we have his Dark Material series by Philip Pullman. And for that I have read The Golden Compass and The Sodden Life. So I have The Amber Spyglass left. And this series is a fantasy series where there are multiple worlds. And in Lyra's world, who is the main character, your soul is in the shape of an animal that you can talk to that's outside your body. And her uncle wants to know more about dark material, and there are children being kidnapped, and they kidnap Lyra's best friend Roger. So she goes to the north to rescue him. Then we have the Saga series. I read the 7 first volumes of it, but I have volume 8 and volume 9 left. And it's a sci-fi comic series about two women and a man who are in love and get a baby, but they're from completely different sides of an intergalactic war. So everyone wants to kill them and their baby, and they're running away. Then we have the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. I'm on the Mark of Athena, which I need to read, and also the House of Hades and the Blood of Olympus. And then I'm done with that series and can move on to the next Rick Riordan series. And this series is like a follow-up to his other series, Percy Jackson, because Percy and his friends are sometimes a part of these books too. And Rick Riordan's books is also always about demigods. So they have one godly parent and one human parent, and then there's also always a quest they have to complete in every book. I really like them. They're I guess urban fantasies, middle grade ones. I really like them. Then we have Shatter Me by Tahera Mafi. I have read every book up until the newest one, Imagine Me, which came out this year. And I'm excited to see where this series concludes and what happens. But it's about Juliet, who has this power that her touch is lethal. And so she has been locked up most of her life, and then she gets released and gets taken to this military guy, Warner. And yeah, I don't know if I should say much more than that. Then we have the Sherlock Holmes series. I have read every book up until The Hound of the Baskervilles, which would be a reread, and then The Return of Sherlock Holmes, The Valley of Fear, His Last Bow, and The Casebook of Sherlock Holmes. But of these 5 books, I feel the most important for me to read is The Return of Sherlock Holmes. And Sherlock Holmes is, of course, about a consulting detective who solves crimes with his buddy Watson. Then we have Narnia by C.S. Lewis. The books I have left are The Silver Chair, The Horse and His Boy, The Magician's Nephew, and The Last Battle. We have The Magician's Nephew. This is a middle grade series about children who go through a magical wardrobe and gets transported into the land of Narnia. So yeah, I have 4 books left in that series. Then we have Wool. I would probably need to reread the first book actually, which is this one, Wool by Hugh Howey, and then read Shift and Dust. Because I read this in like 2015 or something. It was a really long time ago. So I just remember like the end and the beginning and not what happens in the middle. So yeah, I would have to reread that and then read Shift and Dust. Because I have wanted to continue that series ever since I read the first one, but I haven't. Then we have the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire, which I have read the first 3 books, which is Every Hearted Doorway, Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and Beneath the Sugar Sky. So I have In an Absent Dream and Come Tumbling Down left. And these are portal fantasy books. In the first book, there's a murder mystery, and it's about a school where people who have gone to another world through a magical door, and when they come back, they can't adjust to the normal world. So they go to the school where everyone is like them and has also come back from a magical world. So yeah, 2 books in that series left. Then we have Crown of Feathers. And I read the first book, Crown of Feathers, and I have Heart of Flames left to read, and it's about Phoenix Riders. Then we have Giant Days by John Allison and some other people. I have read 7 volumes of it, but I have volumes 8, 9, and 10 left. And these I don't feel like I have to complete this series because I don't love it. All of them have been 3-star reads for me, but I like to read them like during readathons or when I want a good graphic novel. Then we have City of Brass, and I read the first book, City of Brass, but I need to read The Kingdom of Copper and The Empire of Gold. And these are fantasy books about a girl who accidentally summons a djinn, and then he takes her away to a magical land because she's actually magical and could be killed by this creature called Efrit if she stays in the human world. So she learns that she is magical and that she's a very important person in this magical land. And she goes to stay with the king in the king's palace in this magical world. Then we have The Diviners by Libba Bray. I have read the first two books, The Diviners and Lair of Dreams. But I have Before the Devil Breaks You and The King of Crows left. And I'm on the waiting list for Before the Devil Breaks You. But I have been on that waiting list for like 6 months or something and I haven't gotten it yet. So I'm thinking about just buying the book, but I'm not sure. And I'm so excited that the last book is out, The King of Crows, so I can actually complete the series. And I only have 2 books left to do that. Then we have Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. And I've read the first 2 books, which is Nevermore and Wondersmith. So I only have Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morgan Crow left. And it's about a girl who is cursed, so that when she turns 11, she's supposed to die. But this eccentric man comes, called Jupiter North, and sweeps her away to the land of Nevermore, where she begins a trial to become a part of the Wondersmith Society. And it's magical and so wonderful, a great middle grade that I highly recommend. Then we have the Miss Peregrine Home for Peculiar Children series. I read all the books except for The Conference of the Birds, which is the newest one. I'm not sure if it's out yet or if it's coming out this year, but yeah. And that series is about a guy who travels to England when his grandfather dies, and he accidentally enters the Miss Peregrine Home for Peculiar Children home, and he learns that he's one of them because he has a power. And all of the people there have powers, and they are not safe in the human world, so they live in a bubble where Miss Peregrine's makes them live in a time loop. So they relive the same day over and over and over. Yeah. Then we have the Shetland series. Oops. And for that I have left Red Bones, Blue Lightning, Dead Water, Thin Air, Cold Earth, and Wildfire. So I read 2 books, which was Raven Black and White Knights. So I'm on Red Bones, which I'm gonna read this month. So I have 6 books left. And the Shetland is about Jimmy Perez, who is a police officer. And he solves murders and stuff, a new one in every book. And it's also about his life and stuff. And then the last series that I wanna finish, that I haven't yet, is Caraval. I read the first book, Caraval, by Stephanie Garber, but I need to read Legendary and Finale to finish it. So that will be about 42 books or something. That's a lot. That is a lot. But I'm actually reading them continually. This month I'm gonna read Dark Dawn, Us Against You, The Amber Spyglass, what else? The Kingdom of Copper. Yeah, I'm gonna read 4 of them this month. So then it will just be 38 books. These books I'm gonna read this. Oh wait, and this one. These books I'm gonna read this month. So then there will be less of them left than there are now. But yeah, I have some reading to do if I want to complete all this series. I read 38 books, or 42 right now. So that's 17 series in total that I wanna complete. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to, and comment down below which series you wanna finish. and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!